take plenty of curb here.
But Daniel Ricciardo, the day after the Australian Grand Prix, back on track, but in something you feel pretty passionate about.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough racing. The weekend was awesome. It was a big build up to the week, but then to get the race done and to finish fourth was great. And still had a little bit of leftover adrenaline in me, and out in the karts today.
For you yourself, the weekend above expectations?
I think coming into the race, I thought a top 6 was possible. I thought we could jump the Toro Rossos. I knew maybe Massa was there in reach, but probably a bit trickier. But yeah, to be, fourth, obviously Raikkonen had his problem, but to finish fourth, not that far off Merc and Ferrari, and a long way in front of Massa, I think it exceeded what we really thought we were going to get.
We're greedy as Australians, we want winners, but fourth, it still equals the best of an Australian in the Australian Grand Prix.
I still hold on to that second, to be honest, but no, to be honest, it was cool. It's one of those ones, racing is what it is, but there's so many other variables that are involved, and equipment obviously is a big one, but I definitely feel like yesterday I maximised what I had, and I don't believe a Lewis Hamilton or a Vettel or an Alonso would have got better than fourth in the same car yesterday, so I'm happy with that.
A lot of the little rule changes they tried on the weekend, one of the ones was the radio communication thing. Did that change much for you in the race, or how you had to work your race?
Fortunately for me, I've never been too chatty on the radio, or never really liked constant feedback. In a way, I like to be alone on the track. The week's busy enough. But yeah, there were certainly some things where I was asking the engineer maybe like, what tyres the Williams are on or something, and there'd always be a pause, and I think he was trying to find out if he was able to tell me that information, or if we were going to get a bollocking for it. So it was interesting. In terms of setup stuff, I had to give them information. So coming up to a pit stop, I was telling them, okay, this is what the tyre's doing. I need 4 clicks more front wing, where in the past there's been a bit more of a two-way conversation. He'll ask me how it is, I'll give him some feedback, then he'll ask maybe another question. So that dialogue was not really there, and a bit more on the driver's shoulders, definitely, to try and do all that, and a few little procedures here and there, managing the fuel, and on a restart, filling up your battery to have more power on the restart, things like this, they can't tell us anymore. So it's not rocket science, but obviously when there's a lot going on in the race, these little things can be easy to forget, but I think we got on top of it yesterday.
Also, the big conversation point, especially after Saturday, was qualifying. They tried it, it's gone. Good move.
Yeah. It's you sort of laugh a little bit about it now, because I was fairly diplomatic after qualifying. I said Q3 wasn't good, but 1 and 2 wasn't too bad. Q1 and Q2, but I think people laugh about it and shake their heads, and especially the drivers, because they said from the start, why are you tampering with this? You're touching something that doesn't need to be touched, basically. So they've gone back. I think the good thing is they've recognised it. They've gone back to what we had last year, and I think that worked well. The sport, it's not in as bad a place as people say, but sure, there are bigger things that need to be solved than the qualifying. I think that was fine.
Looking further ahead, there's some engine upgrades coming. There's also the announcement with Aston Martin tie-up. There's a lot of good things to look forward to in the coming months.
There is, for us as a team, we've brought on some new brands this year, some new partners, which is nice. Obviously, a few little bonuses here and there. But in terms of performance, I think what's great is we've still got 99% of the people that were on the team when they were 4 times world champions, and that's important. So the personnel's still there to make it happen. We're expecting good update. Probably Montreal. We're trying to get it sooner, but Montreal's the talk at the moment. And if that gives us what we need, then we should be fighting more regularly for podiums.